Control your mind, best motivational speech. What if I told you that your mind is the most powerful tool you own, but also the biggest obstacle standing in your way? Think about it. Every great success, every breakthrough, every life-changing decision begins in the mind, but so does every doubt, every fear, and every excuse. Today, we're going to break those chains. We're going to unlock the full potential of your mind and take control of your destiny. No one, If you believe in your ability to grow, you will. But if you believe you're stuck, you'll stay exactly where you are. The great philosopher James Allen once said, "A man is literally what he thinks, his character being the complete sum of all his thoughts." If you believe you're capable, you'll act accordingly. If you believe you're not enough, that belief alone will hold you back. But here's the good news. You have the power to rewire your mind, to train it like a muscle. And just like any muscle, the more you exercise positive, empowering thoughts, the stronger they become. Take Thomas Edison. He failed over 1,000,000 times before he successfully invented the light bulb. Imagine that for a second. 1,000,000 times. Most people would have given up after 10, maybe even 100 failures, but not Edison. He didn't see failure as defeat. He saw it as feedback, as a lesson, as a stepping stone to success. What if you started seeing your setbacks the same way? Now, let's bring this closer to home. Have you ever watched a toddler learning to walk? They stumble, they fall, they cry, but they never say, "Maybe walking just isn't for me." No, they get back up, they try again, they keep going until they succeed. At what point do we, as adults, stop believing we can do the same? When did we decide that failure is the end instead of a beginning? Maybe you've been wanting to start a business, write a book, or get in the best shape of your life. But something is holding you back. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. Here's the thing. The most successful people in the world aren't fearless. They just refuse to let fear make their decisions. They take action in spite of fear. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, was once cut from his high school basketball team. Can you imagine if he had given up right then and there? Instead, he used that setback as fuel, training harder than ever. He once said, "I have failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." So what's stopping you? What limiting beliefs have you been holding on to that are keeping you from your full potential? It's time to let them go. Replace them with thoughts that serve you, that push you forward, that remind you of who you really are. Imagine waking up every morning and telling yourself, "I am capable, I am strong, I am worthy of success." Imagine facing challenges and instead of saying, "I can't do this," you say, "How can I make this work?" The shift in mindset changes everything. You have more power than you realize. Your mind is the most powerful tool you'll ever own. Feed it well, train it daily, guard it fiercely, because the quality of your thoughts will determine the quality of your life. Ooh, here's my challenge to you. The next time you catch yourself thinking, "You're not good enough, not smart enough, not ready enough," pause. Reframe that thought. Choose belief over doubt. Choose action over fear. And most importantly, choose to keep going, because your mind is a battlefield and victory belongs to those who refuse to surrender. So, what will you choose today? Note 2, opening hook. Have you ever felt like something invisible is holding you back? Like there's this invisible wall stopping you from reaching your full potential? Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's self-doubt. Maybe it's self-doubt. Maybe it's self-deception. Maybe it's self-denial. Maybe it's the opinions of others that keep echoing in your head, telling you what you can or can't do. There's a story about an elephant tied to a small rope. When it was young, that rope was strong enough to keep it in place. But as the elephant grew, something strange happened. It became big, powerful, capable of breaking free in an instant, yet it never even tried. Why? Because in its mind, the rope still had control. It had accepted a limitation that no longer existed. And isn't that what so many of us do? We let old fears, past failures, or someone else's opinion dictate what we believe about ourselves. We hold on to beliefs that may have been true once, but aren't anymore. Think about this. What belief have you accepted as truth that's actually holding you back? Maybe you were told as a kid that you weren't good at something, and now, as an adult, you don't even try. Maybe you failed once, and instead of seeing it as a lesson, you saw it as proof that you weren't capable. Imagine if you carried every single childhood belief into adulthood. Imagine if you still believed there were monsters under your bed, or that you needed permission to speak up. That sounds ridiculous, right? But so many of us carry old limiting beliefs without ever questioning them. Engaging examples. Let's say you've always believed you're bad at math. Maybe a teacher once told you that you weren't a numbers person. So now, every time you face something involving numbers, budgeting, investing, even starting a business, you tell yourself, I can't do this. But is that really true? Or is it just a belief you've been carrying for years? Or maybe you dream of switching careers, starting a business, or pursuing something you love. But a voice in your head says, I'm too old, or I'm not smart enough. Where did that belief come from? And more importantly, is it actually true? What if just for today, you decided to challenge that belief? What if you told yourself, maybe I can learn this. Maybe I am capable. Maybe what I've believed all this time isn't the truth is, most of our limitations exist only in our minds. And just like that elephant, we're capable of so much more than we realize. But we have to be willing to question the stories we tell ourselves. We have to stop seeing past failures as proof of our limitations and start seeing them as stepping stones to growth. What's the belief that's been holding you back? And what would happen if you let it go? What if you took one step today? Just one small step to prove to yourself that you are not stuck, that you are not defined by your past, and that you do have the power to break free, because the truth is, you were never really tied down to begin with. It was just a belief. And beliefs can be changed. Success isn't just about talent or luck, it's about mindset. And here's the good news. Your mindset isn't fixed. It can be trained, shaped, and rewired, just like a muscle. The way you think determines the way you act, and the way you act determines the results you get in life. Think about this. Have you ever seen someone with less talent or fewer resources achieve incredible things, while others, with all the advantages in the world, struggle to make progress? What's the difference? It's mindset. And today we're going to rewire yours for success. Deep 1. Program your self-talk. The way you talk to yourself matters more than you realize. Every single day, your brain is listening to your thoughts, and those thoughts shape your reality. Instead of saying, I can't, ask, how can I? It shifts your brain from a place of limitation to a place of possibility. Instead of saying, this is too hard, tell yourself, this is a challenge I can grow from. Look at Thomas Edison. When he was inventing the light bulb, he failed thousands of times. But instead of saying, I failed, he said, I found 1,0,0,0,0 ways that don't work. That shift in perspective led to one of the greatest inventions in history. Now, take a moment and think. What's one negative thought you've been telling yourself lately? How can you flip it into something empowering? Surround yourself with winners. You've probably heard the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And it's true. Your environment shapes you. Your mindset is influenced by the conversations you have, the media you consume, and the company you keep. Imagine 2 people. One hangs out with negative, unmotivated people who complain all the time. The other spends time with ambitious, driven individuals who push each other to be better. Who do you think is going to grow? Who do you think is going to succeed? Success leaves clues. If you want to level up, Surround yourself with people who inspire you. Read books by great thinkers. Listen to podcasts from successful entrepreneurs. Engage in conversations that challenge you to think bigger. Who in your life lifts you up? Who do you need to spend more time with? Step 3. Motivation is temporary. Here's the truth. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is what keeps you going when motivation fades, and it will fade. Think about the people who wake up at 5 a.m. to work out. Do you think they feel motivated every morning? No. They do it because they've built the discipline to show up no matter how they feel. Start small. Wake up 10 minutes earlier. Read 5 pages a day. Exercise for just 10 minutes. These tiny habits stack up over time, and before you know it, they transform your entire life. Of the most successful people in the world, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is known for his insane work ethic. He doesn't just rely on motivation, he's disciplined. He gets up before the sun, works out daily, and constantly pushes himself to grow. That's what separates high achievers from the rest. So what's one small habit you can commit to today? No. 4. Overcoming fear and taking action. Fear is the biggest thief of dreams. It sneaks in quietly, plants doubt, and convinces you to play it safe. But here's the secret. Fear never truly disappears. It doesn't vanish when you succeed. It doesn't leave when you get older or more experienced. It's always there, whispering in the background. But the people who achieve great things, they don't let fear drive their decisions. They feel the fear and take action anyway. Take Elon Musk, for example. When he started SpaceX, people laughed. Experts predicted failure. The idea of a private company sending rockets to space sounded ridiculous. But Musk wasn't driven by fear. He was driven by vision. He faced setbacks. Rockets exploded. Critics doubted him. But he didn't stop. And now, SpaceX is changing space travel forever. Think about your own life. What's one thing you've been avoiding because fear is in the way? Maybe it's starting that business, applying for that dream job, or even speaking up for yourself. What would your life look like if you refused to let fear make your choices for you? Imagine this. You're standing at the edge of a pool. The water is cold. Your mind tells you it's uncomfortable, but the moment you jump in, you realize it's not as bad as you thought. That's how fear works. It makes things seem scarier than they actually are. So here's the challenge. Take one step today. It doesn't have to be big. Just one small action towards something you've been avoiding. Send that email. Make that phone call. Start that project. The more you act despite fear, the less power it has over you. Right now you have 2 choices. You can walk away from this video nodding along, agreeing with what I've said, but changing nothing. Or you can decide right here, right now, to take control of your mind and change your life. Think about this. Every successful person you admire once stood where you are. They weren't fearless. They weren't superhuman. They simply made a decision to push past fear and take action. And that's something you can do too. Here's what I want you to do. Grab a piece of paper or open the Notes app on your phone. Write down 2 things. 1, don't believe you're letting go of today. Maybe it's, I'm not good enough, or I'll fail if I try. 2, don't believe you're taking today. Something small, something doable, but something that moves you forward. Because here's the truth. You control your thoughts. You control your actions. You control your destiny. Your future isn't written for you, it's written by you. And it all begins with a single decision. Conclusion. Conclusion reads, your success isn't determined by luck. It's shaped by your mindset, your habits, and the choices you make every single day. Reprogram your self-talk. Surround yourself with people who push you to be better. Build the discipline to show up, even when you don't feel like it. Because at the end of the day, success isn't about what you have, it's about who you become. So here's my challenge for you. Pick one thing from today's message and take action on it, right now. Don't just listen. Do something. Change the way you speak to yourself. Reach out to someone who inspires you. Start building one new habit. You have everything you need within you. So now go out there and make it happen.